Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am bringing you the most exciting museum that I have ever been to. Being a car nerd, of course a car museum is going to be awesome, but this just trumps any car museum that I've ever been to, and this is of course the Peterson Auto Museum down in LA. And they have a huge collection full of cars that I never thought that I would get to see in my life, and some holy grail cars I got to see, and some cars that I didn't know were going to be a holy grail car but kind of became one after this just because they were so beautiful. This one right here, I mean, look at this car. The lines on this thing, just so beautiful. And the recessed handles, before that was a thing, oh man. I was in car heaven. So that you'll kind of have to forgive the back and forth on the vertical versus horizontal format because I was too excited to pay attention to how I was filming. So apologies for that. Hopefully you will enjoy all these beautiful pieces of art here at the Peterson Auto Museum. They've got everything from one of the very first Benz cars ever made, which is upstairs in the main gallery, to some of the most famous race car drivers' cars, like Max Verstappen's car that we're looking at here, and then everything in between. Concept cars, custom cars, lowriders, movie cars, and very, very expensive classics and supercars. A lot of the vehicles at the museum are on loan, and this collection of F1 cars is on loan from one particular owner, and boy does he have a collection. He's got Max Verstappen's car, he's got Michael Schumacher's car, this is Fernando Alonso's Aston Martin, there's some old Racing Point cars in the background there's an Alfa Romeo from Valtteri Bottas, and then one of my favorite drivers of all time, who I was so excited to see his car. I didn't think I'd ever get to see one, to be honest. And that, of course, is Ayrton Senna. And they have two Ayrton Senna cars. Here's the first one, one of his Lotuses, or Lotus, I don't know how you say Lotus in plural. I, of course, love the Lotus history and everything that Colin Chapman did for the sport, and that Senna got to drive with Lotus for a time. One of the legendary teams that I'm sad isn't racing anymore, but the really special car was this one, which was one of the cars he was driving the last year that he raced. So that was pretty wild to see. Another one of my favorite drivers, Mika Hakkinen, one of his cars here. One of my favorite drivers to watch do interviews, along with a lot of other drivers from the far northern European reaches, where all of the answers are yes, no, or something smart aleck. You should go back and watch some of his interviews. They're great. I know this is kind of a long video for all of us with short attention spans today, but if you're a petrol head, a car fanatic, an absolute nerd when it comes to vehicles, I think you'll enjoy watching to the end. There's some old Bugattis, a Delahaye in there, this beautiful Rolls Royce, I believe it's from the 30s, some really cool lowriders at the end. One of my favorite Fords, the GT, this is my favorite of the new GTs. And then I got to see this Bugatti, the EB110, which was made to celebrate Ettore Bugatti's 110th birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Ettore. I wish that this car would have lasted a little longer before they went bankrupt, because man, was it cool. When it came out at the 92 Geneva Auto Show, it was the fastest production car in the world, taking the title away from this blue car behind it here, the Jag XJ-220, which had held it before. The Jag's top speed was 217 miles an hour, and the EB110 would do 221. And it held that title until the McLaren F1 came out with the top speed of 240.1 miles an hour. There's just so many cars here, you don't know what to look at first, and it's hard to stay focused on going in the line. So I'm just all over the place here. But this is the hot rod section, as you can see. Lots of cool stuff here as well. I love this Lincoln Continental with flat black. It's been lowered, the door handles have been shaved. I mean, this thing is cool. Look at it. I love it. This is Saddam Hussein's Mercedes brought back from Iraq. This is the Peel P50, and I'll always remember it as the car that Jeremy Clarkson drove through BBC headquarters, particularly the part where he drives behind the live news desk during a broadcast. I love it. For the Matrix fans out there, this is the Ducati that Trinity rides in the second Matrix movie, and this is the Lincoln Continental that they use in the films, which kind of is what originally made me fall in love with this era of Lincoln Continental. So we're in the movie car section, and I recruited some help for this part. Who's that?
Well, that is Mirage from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. He's an Autobot.
And what kind of car is it?
A Porsche 911.
Who's this?
Bumblebee.
From the first movie, right?
Yep.
And what kind of car is it?
A Chevy Camaro.
All right, that was a concept made for the movie. And then we have this one. What was this from?
I think it's also from the Transformers movie.
Yeah, which one?
The Camaro.
That's right.
Bumblebee is like one of my favorite Transformers live-action movie characters.
All right, what's this?
The Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, the live-action one.
Yeah, that one's pretty fun. I'd like to have one of those. I said it was a 1972 Bedford.
They made 2 live-action Scooby-Doo movies, but it doesn't look accurate to the original cartoon.
What's that?
Back to the Future DeLorean.
That's right. That is a cool car, isn't it?
If they made this movie before DeLorean went out of business, it would sell a lot of money.
Yeah. You probably don't know who that is. That's from Starsky and Hutch. But you know what that's from, right?
Yeah, it's from the original Batman live-action TV show.
Yeah, and you don't know what that is either, dude. That was one of my favorite shows when I was growing up. That was Knight Rider. That was Kit. The car talked, and it had a brain,
Wait, it had a brain?
Yeah, like a computer.
Hey, I have a Hot Wheel of that one.
Yeah, who is that?
I don't know.
It's Herbie the Love Bug. That's an old movie, too. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of old movies right here.
Now this was some kind of concept hypercar. Look at those white headers coming over the top of the engine. That was pretty wild.
It looks awesome.
Doesn't it? I bet it's loud. Just little bitty mufflers on there.
I bet it's second fastest after Formula One cars.
It might be. Look at the size of those brakes.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's got a pretty wild looking interior.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm. Well, coming up here is one of my all-time favorite vehicles. One of the fastest cars ever made. It's a Bugatti, and this is the Bugatti Divo, and look how pretty it is. It's got a W16 with 4 turbochargers and 1,000-something horsepower, and it'll do like, I don't know, how fast will it do? Like 250, 260 miles an hour, do you remember?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it goes really fast. Faster than we'll ever get to go in a car. All right, here comes one of my other holy grail cars.
Unless we win the lottery.
Yeah, we had to win a big lottery for that one, buddy. This is a Pagani Zonda. It's even got Horatio Pagani's signature down here on the bottom. Man, this was cool to see in person.
That looks awesome. Especially the wheels. It like makes it look good with all the other colors.
Look at the exhaust pipe on it. Isn't that cool?
There's 4 of them.
Yeah, and they all come out in the same spot. And you see those little blue wings? They adjust in the wind to give
so
the car
it can go like
downforce.
faster?
Yeah, or get more downforce for the corners. And all that is carbon fiber. I absolutely fell in love with this 1929 Rolls-Royce Phantom 1 aerodynamic coupe, and it is so beautiful in person. And like all Rolls-Royces, it has such a presence because it's huge. But it was the only other thing that compared to this in here that was this beautiful, I thought, was a couple of the old Bugattis and the Hispano Suiza, if I'm saying that correct, which is coming up here later. But that Rolls Royce was something. This is the other car, one of the other cars that I just thought was stunningly beautiful. This is a Bugatti that was designed for an Iranian Shah, and I think it was a one-off made just for him. And this was one of a handful of cars that just, the art that went into designing this, the beauty of the lines, the color, the craftsmanship. I mean, it was like looking at a painting on a wall. It was just so much more than just a vehicle. It was a piece of artwork designed and hammered out by hand back in the day. Just amazing. And these are the last two that I thought were particularly beautiful. This is a Delahaye. I don't know the model. In fact, I had never heard of Delahaye. This is kind of before my time, and as much of a car nerd as I am, there was lots of brands here that I had never heard of. Beautiful car though, kind of along the same lines of the same era. Also has the same pop-out door handles as the Bugatti. And then this one coming up here is the Hispano Suiza, and this is probably competing with that Rolls-Royce for the most beautiful car or favorite car that I saw in the entire museum. Just exquisite. Suicide door, big swooping fenders on it, huge wheels. I mean, these wheels are above my waist. Now, it is standing on a plinth right here, so it's not quite that tall, but even on the ground, They are huge. This one's from 1938, I think it was. Oh, there we go, 1938. Beautiful car, absolutely gorgeous. Thanks for watching and hanging out with us this long, everybody.
Well, like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button.
Thanks for watching. This is Kentucky Petrolhead. Over and out.